Hi, I'm Ali and welcome to my channel. Today I'm finally sitting down to film my introduction video for the two project pans I have slated for the year 2020 so far. I'll be doing my first Pan That palette as well as doing a 20 and 20 project pan. And if you're interested in seeing the products that I've selected for these two project pans, then just keep watching. One of the reasons I'm filming this video so belatedly is because I've already switched out the palette that I originally planned to try to pan this year, as well as a couple of products in my 20 and 20 project pan. So I think I'm finally happy with where I'm at now. So before I make any more changes, let's get this video done. For my Pan That palette, I had originally chosen the ColourPop Give It To Me Straight palette, but I found that all of the looks that I was creating kind of looked the same. So instead, I went back into my collection and pulled out this Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon eyeshadow palette. I think that there's a nice variety of shades in this palette, and I also appreciate that there's no black eyeshadow. There is this kind of dark bluish gray shadow down here, but I think that would work well as an eyeliner. This pink cotton candy shade over here does have some questionable bumps or lumps in it, but when I touch them they do kind of seem to go away, so I'm hoping that this hasn't gone bad already, but I would like to get some use out of it before the shadows do go bad. For my 20 and 20 project pan, I really tried to take the time to go through my entire makeup and skincare collection and really looked at those categories where I had just too many products. Things like foundations, concealers, powders, and I really tried to pull things that would help me whittle down my collection in those areas. So I think I'll go over these products in order of application. So first I have some skincare things. Now for someone who doesn't use a lot of facial mists, I seem to have accumulated quite a few of them. So I decided to pull out this Amore Pacific Moisture Bound Hydration Delivery System, and I've been using this in the evening with my nighttime skincare routine, and I kind of mist it all over my face before going into the rest of my skincare routine. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this in a few months' time. I also pulled out this Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, sage, and orange blossom. I actually received this as a free gift with purchase at Ulta last year, and I thought I would originally like to use it as a setting spray, but maybe it's just this trial size, but the spray gives out such large droplets that I can't use it as a setting spray because I don't want those large drops on my face. But I think as a moisturizer or as a refresher mist, it's very nice, and I do enjoy the smell. So let's pull this in. The last spray I have is one that I really hate using and I just want to get it out of my collection. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus 3-in-1 Primer Water. I originally was using this as a setting spray, but I just dislike the scent of it so much, and I don't think it does anything to help prolong my makeup. So I think using it as a primer may help me to finish this up. Again, I don't think that it works particularly well as a primer, but that's pretty much the only time I can see myself incorporated into my makeup or skincare routine, so primer it is. The last skincare item I'll be focusing on is this retinol serum from the Inky List. I purchased this sometime last year from Sephora. It's hard to tell how much I have left, and I only use it maybe once or twice a week, but I do have a bunch of other stronger retinol products that I would like to use, so I just want to finish this up so I can move on to some other retinol products. Now moving on to makeup products, I pulled in this Bare Minerals Blemish Rescue Skin Clearing Primer. I appreciate makeup products that will do double duty, and I think that this works well with a lot of my different foundations. I do appreciate the redness relieving component of it, and it's always nice to have something that will help me when I'm having those occasional breakouts. I'll be focusing on two foundations, including my Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. This is in the shade Vanilla 02, as well as my IT Cosmetics CC Plus Oil-Free Matte Cream. And this one has not very much left in it, but one of the main reasons I want to get it out of my collection is that I already have a backup of it. I think that the shade medium is maybe a tinge too dark for me. I am wearing it today, and it expires at the end of June of this year. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this up before it hits that expiration date. I'm definitely one of those people who are guilty of buying a bunch of concealers and having them all open at the same time without really going through them. So I have 4 concealers in my 2020 project pan. First is this L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Concealer. This is in the shade 02 Creamy Natural. I'll be using this mostly under my eyes. And I also have 3 different shades of the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. I have the shades Light 12, Light 14, and Light 16. I think Light 12 is best under my eyes, but I'm thinking that I'll probably be mixing Light 14 and Light 16 and trying to use this as a foundation to get through those a little more quickly. In 2019, I managed to hit pan on 2 mini or trial size bronzers, so I thought that this year in 2020, I'd try to tackle a full size bronzer. So I will be trying to use up this Laura Geller bronzer. This is in the shade Light, and I actually think that it might be a little too light for me, but I like that. I do think that I tend to have a heavy hand when it comes to bronzers, so being in a lighter shade is not necessarily a bad idea. But I'm thinking that to help the bronzer stand out a little bit more, I will try baking. So I have this LA Girl Pro Powder Setting Powder in the shade Banana Yellow. And I'm hoping that the combination of these 2 products together might help the light bronzer stand out a little bit more in my complexion. Now, one of the bronzers that I panned last year was a Becca bronzer. So I'm hoping that maybe with the Becca formula, I'll be able to pan a blush this year. So I'm going to be trying to pan this Becca Mineral Blush in the shade Flower Child. And here's a look at that shade. I have 2 brow products that I'd love to see out of my collection, and that's the ColourPop Brow Bosses in the shades Taupe and Dark Brown. I don't particularly like the formula of this brow pencil. I do find that the pencil tip is very firm and stiff. I do like the spoolie. Again, the spoolie is really stiff. Mine has actually broken. But I do enjoy using the spoolie. Unfortunately, I can only use the spoolie on the dark brown pencil because for some reason, I just can't. So it broke on the taupe one as well, and I just can't get it out. So it's kind of useless, but I just keep it on there for the length. A couple years ago, I had bought this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the shade Caramel. I thought it would be good for a nice kind of all over one and done lid color. Unfortunately, this shade is just so light. It really blends into my skin that you really can't tell there's any color there. So instead of using it as an eyeshadow, I thought maybe using it as an eyeshadow base might help me to finish up this product. Finally, I have 3 lip products in this project pan, and I definitely learned my lesson from last year. No more bullet lipsticks in a project pan. I do have 1 lip pencil. This is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 1000 Kisses lip pencil in the shade 49 Natural. I also have a Wet n Wild lipstick that seems to be kind of drying out, but I do like the color. This is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit lipstick in the shade Nudist Peach. Because the formula is already dry to begin with, I thought that combining it with a lip gloss might help make it more tolerable. So this is the Floss lip gloss in the shade Yule. I received this in an Allure beauty box last year, and it's quickly become one of my favorite lip glosses. I did have this in my Hallow Out for Halloween project pan last year. I used about a third of it, and that was in, I think, maybe a 4-month period. So I'm hoping that with all of 2020, I'll be able to finish this up completely. So that's everything I've chosen for my Pan That palette and my 2020 project pan. My 2020 project pan will be a rolling project pan, which basically means that anytime I finish up a product, or if I just happen to get bored of something, I will not hesitate to take that product out of my project pan and roll a new product in, and hopefully that will help me achieve my goal of finishing up at least 20 products in the year 2020. I'd love to know if you're doing a project pan as well, and if you are, I wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for stopping by, and hope to see you again in one of my future videos.